At first, it looked like nothing, just green, endless canopy, no roads, no clearings. Then the drone caught a straight line where no straight line should exist. George stopped breathing. He circled back. Same spot, same shape. A dark rectangle hidden under the trees, with edges too clean to be nature. He told himself it was a shadow, a rock, a fallen giant. But the image didn't behave like a shadow. It stayed. Perfect. Unnatural. And when he tilted the camera, the shadow showed a second layer hard angles and something that looked like a covered entrance. George was only in the Amazon to film travel footage, a river bend, a sunrise, a wide, empty world. Not this, not something that felt built. He lowered the drone, quietly. Like the forest could hear him, the controller buzzed in his hands from the humidity. Sweat ran down his wrists. He could have packed up and left. Instead, he landed the drone on a patch of mud and started walking. The jungle swallowed the sound of his footsteps. Every few steps, he stopped. Listened. Nothing. No birds. No insects. Just that heavy, dead air you only notice when everything else is missing. He followed the drone's GPS marker through vines and thick branches until the ground changed. It wasn't soft anymore. It was packed, flattened. Like hundreds of boots had walked the same path and didn't want anyone else to see it. Then he saw it. A wall. Not tall, not visible from far away, concrete, old stains, a seam where two slabs met. There were no signs, no fences. That was the sign. George lifted his hand and touched the surface. Cold. Too cold for this heat. Behind him, the forest stayed silent. He found the entrance the drone had hinted at. A narrow opening in the concrete, just wide enough for one person. And next to it, a small black dome fixed to a tree trunk. A camera. Not a trail cam. Not meant for animals. It was aimed directly at the path. George's stomach tightened. He should have turned around right then. But he leaned forward anyway, peering into the opening. The air coming out wasn't jungle air. It smelled like metal, oil, and something stale, like a room that hadn't been opened in years. He switched on his phone light. The beam hit steps going down, bunker steps. His pulse got loud in his ears. This wasn't a forgotten shed. This wasn't a tourist ruin. In Brazil, flying drones is heavily regulated, and sensitive zones, especially around military installations and other critical infrastructure, are strictly off limits without authorization. George didn't know any of that in this moment. He only knew one thing. Whatever this was, someone had worked very hard to hide it. He took one step inside, then another. The light caught a narrow corridor, concrete walls, and on the floor fresh footprints. Not his, someone else's. Close, recent. George froze. That's when the voice came from above, sharp and close. Stop, hands where I can see them. George spun. The entrance was blocked. 3 men stood there in dark uniforms, rifles low but ready. No yelling, no warning shots, just calm control. One of them pointed at the drone case on George's back. You flew here. George tried to speak, but his mouth was dry. I didn't know. I was just filming. The man didn't blink. Not here. They pulled him back out into the daylight, and the jungle, finally, made sound again, branches shifting, distant birds calling as if it had been holding its breath too. George's wrists were zip-tied in seconds. They took his phone. They took the drone. They moved like they already had the answers. They didn't explain anything. They didn't need to. George was marched away from the bunker without looking back, through the trees. Off the packed path, every few meters, one of the men glanced over his shoulder, not nervous, alert, as if the forest itself was part of the perimeter. They reached a dirt road George hadn't seen before. It didn't appear on his map. No signs. No tire tracks going anywhere public. A military truck waited there, engine already running. That's when it hit him. This wasn't a forgotten structure. Inside the truck, the air was cooler, to control. George tried again. I didn't know this was here. One of the men finally spoke, his voice flat. That's the point. The ride was short, no long drive, no detour, which meant whatever base they took him to was close. They removed the zip ties only after they were indoors. A concrete building, no windows, white walls. George sat alone for a while. No clock, no phone, just the hum of electricity behind the walls. When the officer came in, he didn't shout, didn't threaten. He placed George's drone on the table, paused, then asked a single question. How long has this footage been online? George swallowed. It hasn't. I didn't upload anything. The officer stared at him, weighing the answer. You flew over a restricted zone, he said. A zone that does not exist on civilian maps. Parts of the Amazon aren't just protected land. They hide radar installations, communication relays, underground facilities built decades ago and quietly maintained ever since. Structures meant to be invisible from above, until drones became cheap and curious. The officer explained just enough. The bunker wasn't new. It wasn't abandoned, and it wasn't empty. It was part of an old network designed to monitor, communicate, and, if needed, operate without anyone outside ever knowing it was there. No markings, no public record, no warning signs, because warnings attract attention. George's footage had captured the one thing these sites relied on staying hidden: geometry. Straight lines don't belong in jungles. That's how they knew he had seen too much. They reviewed his memory cards in silence. Every shot, every angle. When they finished, the officer slid the drone back toward him. "You're being released," he said. "No charges." George exhaled too early, but the officer continued, "You will delete everything. Now. If this footage appears anywhere online, shared, sold, you won't get a warning next time." No threats, no raised voice, just certainty. George erased it all, every frame, every backup. They escorted him back to the edge of the forest and returned his phone empty. The truck turned around and vanished down the dirt road. And just like that, the jungle closed behind them. No trace, no sign, only trees. George didn't fly his drone again that day. He packed up and left the area without filling another second. Later, when he tried to explain what happened, people laughed it off. Military bunkers in the Amazon? Sounds fake. That's what made it worse. Because George knew something they didn't. He hadn't discovered something ancient. He had discovered something active, still watching, still hidden, and still not meant to be found. If his drone battery hadn't lasted a few seconds longer, if the light hadn't hit that angle, if he hadn't decided to take a closer look, no one would have known it was there, and no one still does.